Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about Swamp Thing Season 1 Episode 9. And in this episode, oh god, so in this episode, as I stated in the last episode, and yes, I watched 2 episodes in a row today. I'm doing each episode one by one now because doing multiple episodes in one video is so last episode, Swamp Thing got captured. So in this episode, he was being sliced open, doing experiments upon getting experiments upon him. And so the doctor who pretty much replaced Alec, which is Swamp Thing's real name, was able to get his organs and his heart. And somehow Swamp Thing was still able to survive without his lungs and his heart. He was weak. I don't know if the human can actually survive without our lungs and hearts. And if we can, it would be extremely hard life. But he was asleep at first, then he was awake, and it was painful. And then the guy who was in the coma for a few hours or a day that woke up, he went to the hospital where Abby is at and pretty much killed all these SWAT people before they had a chance to kill her and her friend, because he saw a possible future where those two died. So he prevented that. And so he prevents that. And then he goes back to the swamp. And he dragged out this corpse. The corpse was his back when he was a human. And he says, "This corpse is Alec. This is the old me. Now I'm the new me. I can never come back to being Alec." I was hoping they would say, "Now I'm just a Swamp Thing," or just say, "Now I'm just Swamp Thing." Some sort of reference to his name. Maybe they'll say that in episode 10 or by the end of this season. It's great. It's good. It's that was weird. The episode was good. It was weird though. And then Avery, he does his wife dirty. She kind of did him dirty too, but by pushing him out of his company, Avery ultimately took his revenge and put her in a mental hospital. So that was fun. And his son. I did not mention his son in the last episode. So his son, after finding out who his birth father was, and I apologize if you guys hear a train. I live close by a train, so if you hear choo choo sound, is a train's going by. So last episode he was kind of dealing with that hard, and you can tell this episode he was still dealing with the news hard. But his mom did not tell him, and the last episode he kind of snapped. And he does seem kind of off, and he's honestly one of my favorite characters in this show. I think he's a really good dude. How the episode ended for him though, because the actual episode ended with Swamp Thing carrying his human bones out of the swamp, telling Abby, "Yeah, this is me. I can never be human again. I'm now Swamp Thing." So how things ended for Avery's son, say in this episode, he's in his car driving, right? Driving. and he plays with this radio. And he looks up, and bam! He gets in a car accident, and he's knocked out. It's like, oh, why did he have to do that? Because he's debatedly my favorite character in here. Debatedly. Like, he's just a good character, and, God. I'm hoping that character survives. And I was pretty sure that Avery was going to be, like, going to get, like, Swamp Thing's powers when he was left for dead by his own son and the mother of his son. But no. He's still human. So I wonder if there is going to be a character that's going to be like Swamp Thing. Like how in Arrow, there's Green Arrow and the Dark Archer. There's the Flash, and then the Reverse Flash, Salvatore, and Zoom, and Godspeed. How all 5 speedsters, and I named 4 that are evil. But if you want me to list good speedsters, the Flash, different version of the Flash, Kid Flash, Jesse Quick, that's all the names I can think of for the moment that are speedsters. Speedy, I think, is one speedster, but it's not in the Arrowverse. But my point is, those speedsters that I named, they all have one power in common. No, one thing in common. They can run super fast. Different speeds, but they can run super fast, faster than a normal human. Like, if I was a speedster, I can run from here to Florida within like a minute or 5 minutes. It'd be cool if I can do that, but unrealistic, sadly. So my point being was bringing in like the whole Green Arrow and Dark Archer, which I realized may be like a poor example, and with the speedsters example I gave, I am on the theory that one of the bad guys, not in this season, potentially next season, we could get someone that gets Swamp Thing's powers as well, being the evil Swamp Thing. What their name? I don't know. Is there an enemy with Swamp Thing's powers in the comic books? I don't know, because like I said in the last episode, I do not know that much about Swamp Thing. I am 9 episodes in. Next week will be 10, or this week would be 10. My knowledge on Swamp Thing is honestly limited to this TV show. And I know he's in Injustice 2. I want that game. I have not gotten that game yet, but I want that game. And like I said in my last video too, I am aware there's an animated movie with Mark Hamill that is about Swamp Thing. I have not had the chance to see that, but from the trailers, it looks like that version of Swamp Thing and the Injustice version of Swamp Thing is more public than the Swamp Thing that we have in the show so far. Now, things could change. In episode 10, Swamp Thing could easily go public. By the end of the season, it could easily go public. I do not know how many episodes there are in this season, but I'm willing to bet you, if not in this season, then probably in season 2, Swamp Thing will go public. And keep in mind, I have not seen the show back when it was like coming out with the new episodes. I know I'm watching reruns, but to me, these episodes that I'm watching of Swamp Thing, even though they were already out, and I know there's 2 seasons, these episodes are new to me. So, which is why I'm theory making all these theories. I'm trying to make a word, but so yeah, that's my theory. Is that not by the end of season one, that season two, Swamp Thing will be public, go public. That's just how I. That's my ultimate theory. In terms of what happened next week, I think the episode will start, at least for Abby and Swamp Thing, them arguing a bit. Abby's still having hope that there is hope to change Swamp Thing back to his human form. And Swamp Thing saying, yeah, no, I'm sorry, Abby. But I will always be this monster. I will never be human. You might as well forget about me now. I doubt that Abby will let that happen. I'm still on on it, and this is partially because Crisis on Infinite Earths teased Swamp Thing. I'm still on them bringing Swamp Thing into the Arrowverse. That's just me. That's my theory of why they are bringing Swamp Thing on the CW. To bring him into the Arrowverse. And I feel like that's why, because, let's face it, next season, Supergirl and Black Lightning are going to be cancelled. I'm not expecting Batwoman to survive for that long. So in order for the Arrowverse to survive, they need more shows other than just The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow. Even though I'm a fan of Legends of Tomorrow and The Flash, I feel like the Arrowverse needs more shows in the Arrowverse that is currently running. I'm hoping we'll get the Green Arrow and the Canaries show, which is about Mia Queen, Oliver's and Felicity's daughter, being the Green Arrow. I still have a strong feeling that Stargirl is going to sometime be part of the Arrowverse. And she's on Earth too, the No Earth too, so it could happen, especially with Flash going to different dimensions. I do think Swamp Thing will be based on if I'm going to base it solely off of Crisis on Infinite Earths. And I did hear that the Arrowverse may bring in this Themyscira type show, so we could easily get a Wonder Woman based show in the Arrowverse. And we're getting a Superman and Lois show at some point. I don't know if it's going to be next year, 2021. I don't know if the Superman and Lois show is going to be in 2021 or if it's going to air in 2022. Or, it could still air in next year, just right after Supergirl ends. Because seeing how this season of Supergirl is the last season, they could easily start teasing Superman and Lois more dominantly than they have been in the last few seasons that they had both characters. So there's that. So yeah, that's my ultimate theory. At some point, there's going to be a villain with Swamp Thing powers to fight Swamp Thing. I think it will make sense, because then at least we'll have a character that can withstand Swamp Thing in strength in a fight without really having to use a weapon of some kind that can go mano a mano. So it would make sense to have that. Like I said, do they have an evil version of Swamp Thing in Swamp Thing? Like in the lore of Swamp Thing? I don't know. this version of Swamp Thing seems to be a hero, and I do believe this version of Swamp, like just Swamp Thing in general, is not exactly a hero or a villain, kind of like an anti-hero, but if anti-hero is even a proper term. But I do believe there's going to be someone who uses the Swamp Thing powers for destruction, for evil purposes, at some point in the series. That's just me. So, outside of Abby and Swamp Thing getting into that argument that I mentioned a few minutes ago, I don't really have any theories of what's going to happen next week. Outside of, like, we're going to see that cop dude who ran into that pole, that he's going to ultimately be okay. That's really my only theory outside the whole argument thing. So what do you guys think? What are your guys' theories for episode 10 of season 1? And how do you guys feel about season 1 episode 10 of Swamp Thing? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching this video. Love you all. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day, you awesome tackler people.